Hey everybody, and welcome back. I'm Steve Piacenza, and thanks for joining us again on Make It with Mod Podge. Today, Cathie is going to show you 5 different upcycle kit projects that you can do with the entire family. So Cathie, take it away.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us today. I'm so excited to share with you these fun craft ideas. Now all of these are using recycled materials that you may have around the house, or you may want to start collecting after you see these fun craft projects that kids can do. Now, some of these are fun for grown-ups too, but I think kids are going to love them. We're going to, I don't know if you caught last week's video, so we have new videos every Thursday, and last week Steve made gorgeous grown-up egg carton flowers, and today I'm going to show you how to do a kid's version of egg carton flowers. This is a really fun art project that kids can do if you're doing some homeschooling right now. This is a fun way to talk about flowers in spring, really simple to make and all using recycled materials. I also have a really fun recycled drum set. This is great for some of our younger kids. This is all just recycled food containers. This is a tin can. You can wrap it with any papers you have. If you've got old wrapping papers, scrapbook papers, magazine cutouts, anything like that. I also have a really fun cat mask. Of course, these masks can be made in any animal possible. And I did not finish the back because I want to show you, these are just made with cracker boxes. So this is just a Ritz cracker box. Normally I would paint it and finish it off, but I wanted to be able to show you what it is. I'm also going to show you how to create some really cute bottle cap pendants. We've got some bottle cap pendants, and these are milk caps right there. And we've got a project that we did last year, the painted rocks, and I loved them so much that I kept them. So I want to show you about these painted rocks and how we're using an egg carton just to create a fun sort of storage box for them. We've got the painted dolls, and we also have the little painted rock monsters. And all of those are sealed with Mod Podge. And we're not gonna make those today, but I'm gonna talk to you about them, and we'll be sure to drop links to the video for the painted rocks series. So let's get started. I think we will start with our drum set today. So our drum set consists of a bunch of different recycled containers. And I'm using some chopsticks for drumsticks. Of course, you can use whatever you have around the house. You can even use real sticks. And you wanna look for containers that have these tops like this. So this was a Pringles can, and this was, I think, breadcrumbs. This is frosting. So just start thinking about the things that you have around and what can you turn them into. Of course, soup cans are perfect too. So for all of these, we just Mod Podged the paper around it, glued them all together, and then added the string just to be sort of a decorative look, but also just to keep it a little bit more secure together for the kids. So you'll start with your tube. I've already removed the paper. And again, you're looking for things that have lids that you can bang on. And I've cut my paper to size, just like so, and you want a little bit of extra paper to overlap, just like that. So if you're just joining us, this is for the kids drum set that we're making. This is a great project for toddlers. Well, I say that. Sophia was like, can I have the drum set when it's done? So, all right, so any kid that loves music is gonna love to create one of these fun drum sets. Oatmeal canisters work really good. So just look at the things that you have. What are you eating up? What are you putting in your recycling bin? And what can we make with it? Kids love creating projects out of things that are recycled. So just maybe keep a bag of stuff. I've got a bag going. It's becoming a running joke in the family. Are we keeping this? Yeah, we're keeping it. So I'm gonna add a coat of Mod Podge to the container. So I've coated my paper, the back of the paper. Now I'm gonna coat the container, just like so. I'm using a flat brush. You can use any kind of paintbrush. You have a foam brush, whatever you got. Actually, you could probably even use your fingers if you needed to. There we go. Get that all coated. And then I like to find where the original seam was, because there's usually some chunky, you know, stuff going on there. So that's where I like to start it, because I consider that the back seam. And you'll just lift up your paper and position that on. And don't worry if you get the Mod Podge on the front, you're gonna end up sealing it. but it will dry clear. And then you just start in the center and press down all the way around, just like so. And you can see where that overlap is, just like that. You just kind of use your fingers to work it into position. So now it's covered, and normally I would set this aside for about 15 minutes and let it dry and then give it a top coat. But for time, I'm gonna go ahead and show you the top coating. For top coating, you just go right on top. I'm using the satin formula because I didn't want it too shiny. If you wanted more of a shiny drum, you would use gloss. If you didn't want any shine at all, you would use matte Mod Podge. So you just top coat like that. And I'm not gonna go all the way around it because you get the idea. You don't wanna do brush marks like this because that's gonna show. You wanna go up and down, nice, smooth, long brush strokes. And just like that, we've got it covered. Once it's dry, you pop your lid back on, and then you can glue them all together. You can see, let's see if you can get in. See, I added just little dots of hot glue just to hold them together. And then I did that decorative string around there. And the string works to hold it together, so if the kids are rough on it, that will help keep it corralled together. For the drumsticks, chopsticks, anything you got. Grab some sticks from the yard, anything you got. You can also tie these off with yarn if you want to create different types of drum sets. The other thing is you can fill these with different things. Fill them with socks, fill them with beans. So they each have a different degree of sound that they're gonna make. So it's a super fun and easy recycle project. Next, I wanna show you, now if you guys have any questions, we're gonna be answering questions live, so make sure you ask away any questions. So now I'm gonna show you how we did our egg carton flowers. So this was a canvas that I had, and we did a wash on it and just sprinkled a little bit of some glitter on there just to create a background. But kids can do it anyway. They can paint the background however they want. We just went with kind of a sky blue color because we wanted to really have those flowers pop and look like they were in the sky. So this also is all recycled materials. If you don't have a canvas at home, you can use the back of a cereal box to create a canvas. In fact, we have a video that is for Plaid with all different kinds of artworks that you can do with cereal boxes. So I will put a link in the comments for that as well. We're starting with a piece from an egg carton, and that is our petal area. And I've just cut the top of it off, and then we cut it into just a simple flower shape, just like that. And then we painted it with our, sorry, I got paint all over my paint, with our Apple Barrel Pink Parfait paint. And one thing I want to show you on this is that we're top coating it with Mod Podge Sparkle. So do you see that sparkle in there? You see all that sparkle? That is what really makes these flowers come alive, and the kids love doing the sparkle on there. So for the sparkle, sorry guys, my canvas keeps slipping. You're just going to top coat your pieces, just like so. And it's gonna dry clear, but with all those beautiful Aurora Borealis sparkles going on. So you just top coat it like that. And I did the same thing over here. You can see we've got two layers, the orange layer, and it's got the sparkle on it, and the pink layer, and then we have a centerpiece. So the centerpiece was also from food packaging, and we painted it yellow. We used some Apple Barrel right there, the bright yellow paint, and then we just cut out a strip, and rolled it up. If you're having trouble rolling, you can use a toothpick or something like that, but you wanna just roll it into a nice tight little cluster, okay? Just like so. And then, to create that center of the flower, you just put a big dollop of the Sparkle Mod Podge right there. And then you're gonna just place your roll in the center of the flower. And once it's dry, that roll will all be stuck in there like that, and it will create that really beautiful glittery pool around there. Now from there, you can see we have leaves and stems for our flowers. Again, all of that was cut out of food packaging that we use our Apple Barrel paints to paint. Kids can Mod Podge them down to the canvas. They can glue them down with hot glue if that's what you have. You can use yarn, you can use fingerprints. It's endless. but just think about how fun and easy it is to create these really cool flowers just using egg cartons. So I know kids will love to make these, especially with the sparkle. Now, if you don't have sparkle Mod Podge, just take a little bit of your regular formula, pour it into a small cup, and add any glitters that you have. So if you've got sparkle, this is a really fun project for that. If you don't, just add a little glitter to your Mod Podge and you can create these really fun sparkly flowers. So now I want to show you the bottle caps. These are so cute. So these are our bottle cap pendants, and we did a whole video on dimensional magic for these. So I will drop a link in the comments for that video. And for this, we're gonna use the Mod Podge satin, and we're gonna use dimensional magic also. So you'll start with a bottle cap, and you can use a nail or a punch to create a hole in it. If you don't have the means of creating a hole, you could glue a bail to the back. You could use a paper clip there. You could do anything that's gonna create a little loop for you to create the pendant. Now I've cut out a cute image. Magazines are great for this, scrapbook paper, greeting cards. I'm using a 1-inch circle punch just because it's easy. You can just use scissors, have the kids cut these out. Let's grab a little bit of our Mod Podge. We'll put it in the bottle cap, just like so. And then we'll drop our image in. And you just want to make sure that your image is lined up with where your hole is. So my hole is there, and I want to have that good and centered. And then you just top coat it with a little bit more of Mod Podge. There you go. Now you're going to set that aside and let that dry, okay? And once it's dry, this one I made yesterday and it's dry, you'll be ready for dimensional magic. And dimensional magic is what gives you that clear glass-like finish. So it looks like glass or resin is in there. But this is kid-friendly. It's no mix. This isn't a resin. It's a faux resin. Dimensional magic. So you'll start right on. Uh-oh. Gotta get it going. Let me get my scissors. This is a brand new bottle. I burned through it all the other day. Okay, let's see. There we go. We start right here on the edge and work our way around just like so, filling it up. You can see I'm barely putting any pressure on it. It does all the work for me. And then connect it, just like that. Now when that dries, that will dry clear, and it will dry with that glassy finish. And this one that I'm showing you, I want to show you that if you wanted to, you could glue gems or little things down first. I hope you guys can really see that glassy finish. So this is going to take overnight to dry, and you want it to dry in a non-drafty place. You don't want to be moving it around. So do it on a tray and then put it where you want it to dry overnight. If you get an air bubble, you can use a sewing pin or a toothpick. Now, I don't have my reading glasses on, so I can't tell if there's an air bubble or not, but I don't see one. I will say this, sometimes an air bubble will appear after about 10 minutes. So if I don't see one now, I always come back to it and check it like 10 minutes later. And if you do see one, you just pop it like that. It's very, very simple. So now I want to show you the painted rocks. So the painted rocks, the holder is just an egg carton, and we use the apple barrel paints. And like I said at the beginning, we have a full video on how we did this. So, but I just wanted to show you how fun this is. So kids can paint their egg cartons. They can seal them with Mod Podge if they want. They can put the sparkle on there. They can glue gems, ribbons, whatever trinkets you have around. And then let's say they have a real rock collection, or they're collecting little things from the yard. This is a really fun way for them to show off a collection. And all of these little dolls, these are all rock dolls that we painted and that we sealed with Mod Podge. And check in the comments and everything. I'll make sure that the link is there for this video, because these were so fun to make. And we did the same thing, the same idea with this egg carton, but this one we just glued a bunch of pom-poms to the top of it and did googly eyes, and we made all these cute little monster rocks. So you can just paint them however you want. And all of these were sealed with Mod Podge, so they're going to last a long time, and kids will love, 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 love painting those. So the last project I want to show you is our cute little cat mask. Now these masks can be made in any animal, and like I showed you at the beginning, normally I would finish this off, but I wanted to be able to show you that this is just cracker packaging, and this is 2 popsicle sticks that I glued together, and I wrapped with a little bit of ribbon, added a gem on the bottom, and this is just tissue paper to create that design. So let me show you that. I have my Ritz cracker. We've been eating a lot of crackers. I'm sure everybody's like, snack, 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 right? So every time I have like a nice big cracker box, I'm like, oh, cardboard. So save those boxes because you can make so much stuff with them. So I've got my cracker box. I just used a cat mask template. You can find any kind, you can hand draw it. This is one that Steve and I have that we've used for years and years and years. So then what I did was I like to paint the background. So I painted it the color of the tissue that we're gonna be using. So when a kid does this, if they kind of don't get it exactly where they want it, they're still gonna have a little bit of that pink showing through. So let's say you wanted to do a fox or something, you could paint white where you wanna have the white, orange where you wanna have the orange, and kind of make it a paint by number for kids. So that's a really simple way. Now, this I'm using tissue paper. So these are tissue paper confettis. Any tissue paper will work. Napkins will work, coffee filters will work. If you have coffee filters and you want to paint them with apple barrel paints or dye them with food coloring, you could do something like that. You can use tissue paper and cut it into squares. I had these tissue confettis in my craft room, so that's what I use. But again, you can use coffee filters that you've painted. You can use paper napkins if you've got leftover party napkins. You can use tissue paper and just cut them into little 1-inch squares. So don't, if you're looking at these circles and thinking, I don't have those, just think, what do you have? So let's see, I'm gonna use a Q-tip, and for this I like to pour a little bit of the Mod Podge out onto the work surface, especially when kids are doing this. You don't wanna have them dipping into the container, and you also wanna be sure that you're not wasting it. So I wanna show you what we did. We've got a lighter pink here and lighter pink to detail the ears, and then the darker pink, and then the darkest pink just to outline the eyes and things like that. So this is very simple. You're just going to take anything like a Q-tip. You could use the end of a skewer, whatever you have, and you're gonna wrap your little tissue paper around it. You're gonna dip the end into the Mod Podge and place it where you want it. I mean, it's just that simple. And then I wanna show you, and this, kids, again, you can do this project over several days. So if they wanna do the outlining, and then they could come in and fill in, put another one down. The trick to making this look really good, I'm gonna show you on this one. We'll wrap it, dip it in the Mod Podge, and put it right next to it. You wanna get right next to it. But you can imagine that a little kid might not get it exactly next to it. And that's why you can see there, it's important to paint the background first. So if you're doing one solid color, paint it a solid color. If you're doing a panda bear, go ahead and paint where you want the black and white type colors to be. That will really help kids be successful with this craft. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. And my goodness, it's so funny to be crafting without Steve here. But next week, he's going to have a really great beginner tutorial on Mod Podge and all the things that you can do with it. It's one of my favorite types of videos because we're gonna load it with pictures from over the years of some of our favorite projects, and we're gonna teach you basic 101 how to get paper down to wood, down to canvases, all your beginner questions, all the beginner ideas. So let's recap what we made, shall we? We've got our cool egg carton artwork that is kid friendly, ready for kids to do. We have our little recycled drum set, our pendant made with bottle caps. And this one I didn't really talk about, but that's dimensional magic. So again, this is the dimensional magic. And instead of putting paper down, we poured all the dimensional magic in there and just sunk beads and that cute little mermaid button and let it dry overnight. And it looks like that when it's all finished. We've got our painted rocks and our really cute, fun, meow, kitty cat mask. So I hope that these ideas have inspired you to keep your recyclables and figure out what you and your kiddos can make together. Thanks so much for joining us. Don't forget to hashtag plaid crafts and hashtag Mod Podge so we can see what you're making, and hopefully you can get featured on Fan Friday. We'll see you next Thursday and on the weekend for our weekend watch parties. Bye.